chose Miss Philippines Earth because it's truly a pageant that is unlike the other ones, where the advocacy is at the core of the pageant. And as someone who had their environmental awakening, it's actually a funny story. I was taking a course in college, an environmental class, and I learned that a lot of things about the environment that I did not know. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm living this life thinking that I know how to take care of the planet, but I actually know nothing at all. So that's why I was like, something in me was like, I need more people to know about this. I need to do something, right? So that's why I wanted to join Miss Philippines Earth, because they provide a platform for their candidates where they can actually make a change with the world. And that's something that I really want to do.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, this year MTV focuses on the protection of fauna in the different regions of the Philippines. Can you tell us the reason or reason, whether it's professional or group activities, that you got involved concerning rehabilitation and protection of this living thing?
Yes, I think the theme for this year's pageant is super important, which is the protection of fauna. And back in Canada, where one of our most beloved animals, the polar bear, is actually facing going extinct, it's actually very endangered. So I think that the fact that the pageant is promoting that advocacy this year is super important. And as far as things that I have been involved in when it comes to protecting these endangered species, there's nothing physical that I have done. But of course, in this age of social media, there's always that something you can do with your voice alone, right? So spreading awareness, I think, is one of the most important things that people often overlook or take advantage of. So that is something that I have proudly advocated for, spreading awareness, and especially for the protection of the polar bear.
Okay, and finally, if you will miss this Earth and hopefully you will, what will be your utmost concern or priority to show the world that you really care for our planet?
Yes, actually, coming from Toronto, we have actually implemented a new plastic ban. So it goes hand in hand with my advocacy, because I am advocating for proper waste management behind it. That's something that I find is very apparent that is needed in the Philippines, especially where I currently reside in Quezon City. There's an unfortunate amount of litter and trash all over our city, and that is something that really needs to be taken care of. So I think that coming from this community that shows a plastic ban is possible means that it is possible for the Philippines as well. So that is a project that I hope that we can start working on and start implementing here in the Philippines.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Jasmine.
Hi.
Good question. Tell us more about your advocacy and why did you choose that?
Yes, of course. So I first chose this advocacy even before the plastic bans happened. And basically, it is education about proper waste management. And this goes hand in hand with the story that I told earlier, where I actually realized I know nothing about the environment. And that is because in school, it is very simplified. The program that they teach you in terms of taking care of the environment is very simplified, where it's reduce, reuse, recycle, correct? But actually, I realized that if you recycle incorrectly, a lot of recyclable items get tossed into the landfill regardless. So all of those efforts are being put to waste. So that's why I feel really strongly about the proper education for waste management, because it is so important. As well as it focuses mainly on the youth, because the youth, they're going to grow up and they're gonna be the ones to take care of our earth and our future. Right? So yes, so that is why that is my advocacy. And not only is it important to educate them, but I believe it's important to make them care about what they're doing. Because, of course, we've all been kids before. If someone tells you to do something, you're not going to want to do it. So it's it's really important, that's where the education part comes in. It's really important to tell them why they must care instead of just do this. We need to care about the earth. Thank you.
One more. What more present do you like your eyes and
I actually really idolize Patricia from the 2018 batch of BB, yeah, our Miss International. Yes, yeah, I'm sorry, I couldn't pronounce her last name, so. But I really idolize her because I am an aspiring lawyer as well, and she sort of proved to me that you can pursue both fields. Because back home, before I moved to the Philippines, my parents, they asked me, so when are you going to go to law school? And I said, I'm not going to law school, I'm going to the Philippines. So she proved that you can be both smart and beautiful and confident. So that is why she is one of the beauty queens that I really idolize.
thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you.
Celso Camarada.
Hi.
Queen or Muse, how would you love to be remembered by your pageant fans, netizens, media pageant enthusiasts?
I would like to be remembered as someone who is truly passionate about what they do. Of course, there are a lot of people who pursue fields such as the entertainment or pageantry business for selfish reasons, and I am not one to judge, but advocating for the environment and advocating for education is something that I am truly passionate about. So as long as people know that this is who I am at my core and this is my values, that is how I want to be remembered. Thank you.
Next is Sir Eton.
Okay. Hi. Yes.
For this year's edition of the State is Earth, they choose to highlight the love and protection for animals. Aside from the polar bear, from that animal, which other animals would you like to advocate? You can love and protect more and more.
Well, actually, my chosen fauna, even though it is not the polar bear, I believe it still deserves to be protected because we must protect all living species in our environment so that they don't even go through the path of being endangered. So my chosen fauna is the red cardinal, and I chose it because not only is red my favorite color, but because of what it does for the environment, which is something that I found out during my pageant. So they actually act as seed dispersers in our environment, which helps our ecosystems really flourish and foster more growth. So that is my chosen fauna, and not only that, but it's a special message to me because the red cardinal can sometimes relay a message, a spiritual message to loved ones. If you see a red cardinal that a loved one from far away is sending you a message of reassurance that they are okay. And since I am here in the Philippines by myself, I wanted to my fauna to also be a message to my family back home that even though they're not here, I still feel their love and I am doing my best. So, laban.
Red cardinal is a bird, right?
Yes, but.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Since you're connected to the shows, to the entertainment world, given the chance to portray a movie icon in the future, which would you like to portray more, Darna or Jasmine?
Great question. Thank you. I think I would really love to portray Darna because she is wearing my favorite colors. But besides that, she represents such a powerful symbol of strength, especially for women and young women everywhere. So that is something that I would like to portray as well. And of course, we all grew up watching Darna, so it would be truly a dream role for me. Angel loves me.
Edge Tenorio.
Ayun. So, pinag-uusapan nga namin kanina, girl, no, Jasmine. Ang gulo kang Maha Salvador, no?
Maha Salvador.
Kilala mo siya?
Yeah.
Anyway, girl, how old are you?
23, but I look 18. So.
Alright, Jasmine. for those people who do not believe in climate change, sa mga di pa naniniwala, of course, yung naranasan natin yung climate change. So, ano yung message mo sa kanila? Or, how would you convince them about the seriousness of the problem?
I think this is an issue that not only regular people and regular citizens have been facing. Well-educated scientists have been facing this issue for years as well. So it is truly something wrong within our educational system and maybe a moral system as well. But more emphasis on the educational because, like I said, we need people to care about what we're doing. If they don't see the direct consequences of their actions, then to them, climate change is just a word. It has no effect on them. But if we get them to realize that if you do this, this will happen, then maybe they will finally change their mindset and finally learn to care about the environment. So I believe that's the most important thing that we can do for our people and our future.
Galing. Sino picture yung sa Q&A? Oh! Last na lang.
Ang ingay.
Ako yung what qualities about yourself you are most grateful for?
I think I am most grateful for my adaptive mindset because there's the physical part where I adapted to the Philippines all by myself, and that's something that I'm very proud for because people tell me like, oh my god, aren't you scared? And I'm just like, no, it's a learning process, it's a journey. I only get scared if I'm walking on the street by myself at nighttime. But yeah, so I'm very adaptable, and I think that comes with being open-minded as well. You're open-minded to change, and then you can adapt to that change and move forward. So that is a quality about myself that I'm really proud of.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Jasmine. Hello.
Hi, Jasmine. Good evening. This is Jay from Pageant Trend. So, I would like to ask about how was your transition about from being from showbiz to pageantry, or from pageantry to showbiz?
Yes. Actually, pageantry was my very first love. I first discovered it when I was 17. And my first pageant, I actually went to Peru, and I was representing the Philippines. So that was my very first experience in a pageant. And the transition from pageantry to showbiz was actually very funny because I never thought that I could be an actress, let alone be interested in pursuing that field. So it was really an eye-opening experience because it taught me a lot about myself. And it actually influences the way that I project on stage and the way that I am more confident on stage too. So that is something that I will forever be grateful for pursuing, and something I'm also proud for taking the risk and pursuing a field that I've never experienced before. So.
All right. Another follow-up question. What do you like most about yourself?
What do I like most about myself? It's actually a funny question because before I used to hate my eyes because one time a makeup artist told me that my eyes are very boring. And I was super sad. It was something that I was really insecure about, but then I learned to love them. I think they're super expressive and they're my favorite part about my body now. So learning to love yourself on this journey is so important, and that is my favorite part about myself.
All right. Thank you so much, Jasmine.
And also from Philippines, John.
Hello. Hi.
So far, how has been your stay here in the Philippines? How do you find your stay here?
My stay here in the Philippines, I would say it's a roller coaster, truly, of emotions. I'm far from my family because my family is based in Cavite and Bataan. So it's really just me here, but I feel like I was mentally prepared for moving to the Philippines, which is the most important part of preparation for me because I knew going here that I would be alone. So that I was prepared I was very happy with my own company. I was very satisfied with how I was living my life. So the transition and the experience so far has been really, really eye-opening, but super, super enjoying my time here.
And a follow-up question. How's your preparation so far?
For Miss Philippines, my preparation preparation so far, well, with the help of Mars friends, it has been another roller coaster, but we're super enjoying the ride and the journey. It's always been a dream of me to compete in the Philippines, and never really thought that it would have came this fast in my stay here in the Philippines. So I'm just soaking up every minute, and in terms of preparation, once again, I'm just mentally preparing myself for the pageant, because I feel like once I have a strong head, then everything will just fall through. Thank you.
Hello. Hi. Good evening. So, how long have you been living in Canada?
So I was actually born there. So I grew up there my whole life, and now I'm in the Philippines.
Yeah, I can see. And what was your life back then in Canada? I mean, what are you enjoying? What are you doing? What keeps you busy back then?
So my life in Canada, actually growing up as a Filipino in Canada, of course it's very different than growing up as a Filipino here in the Philippines. And I would say that my experience as a Filipino, I'm super grateful that Canada is so diverse. Because although it's different, I still felt like I had my community, which is why I'm so honored to be representing the Filipino community as well. But in terms of what I would do every day, well, I went to school and I pursued law, like I mentioned earlier. So that took up a lot of my time, but it's another passion of mine, so I really enjoyed it. And as well as the reason why I moved to the Philippines was I just felt like my destiny was really here. Like, I lived my life in Canada, and it's time to move on to the next journey and the next step.
Yeah, all right. And then your manager mentioned earlier that you are interested in entering the showbiz industry here, right? And then do you have someone like a favorite in the Philippines, in the entertainment industry in the Philippines?
I would say that Bea Alonzo is my favorite. I just think she's so diverse with her acting. She recently was in a horror movie, and it was new for her, but she pulled it off so well. So she is really an actress that I idolize and someone I look up to. So yeah, I would say even though I'm so much of movies. But thank you.
Thank you.
Also from pageant Francois.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Yesterday.
Yes, we did.
So you have mentioned a while back that the core of your advocacy is on education, right? Now, should you be given a chance to add a curriculum in the education system of the Philippines regarding environment, what would that be?
So I think the most pressing issue that we're facing besides climate change, because climate change is very broad, and I feel like in order to attack these very big issues, we must start with our sub-issues first. So I would really go for the education behind plastic, and like I said earlier, in Toronto, we recently implemented a new plastic ban. So by the year 2030, we're hoping to remove 23,000 tons of plastic from our environment and from our city. So that really shows that something like that, an initiative like that, is possible. And that comes with education and with people caring and wanting to do that. So I would think that I would start with proper waste management and the education of plastic and its harmful effects.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I have a follow-up question. Given that, or recognizing all the works or the efforts of the people or the environmentalists towards environmental issues, right? So, what particular characters that we still missed, right, toward improving the environment?
Particular characteristic that we still miss when it comes to improving the environment. I think I advocate for the environment because I recognize that I come from this place of privilege almost, where my biggest worry is the state of our environment. But being here in the Philippines, where people sometimes their biggest worry is the next meal or how they will provide for their family, that's where the privilege that I have comes in. So that's why I really want to be a voice for those who don't have the time to care about the environment, or to be that person who will speak on behalf of those people. And those, like I said, they have bigger problems. So it's not really something that we can do, but it's more so the governments and the big corporations. We really need to apply pressure, and that's the best thing that we can do as eco-citizens and as citizens of this world. We need to apply pressure onto those big corporations to make sure that they change their ways so that they are practicing more sustainably. So that is something that I think we're really missing.
Amazing.
Thank you.
So, Ferdinand Abihon from
Hi.
Thank you,
If you are given a chance to introduce a law protecting the environment, what would it be and why?
I think it would be the plastic ban, because it's truly making a difference, and I can see that visibly while still staying in Toronto. And of course, plastic, we grew up with plastic. I know it's going to be hard to adapt, but there are other alternatives such as bamboo straws and like other items like reusable tote bags. So to show a plastic-free world, it is possible. So if I would be able to invent a law, it would be to ban plastic and single-use plastics.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a joy, di question.
Hi.
As a beauty queen, what is the most important thing in teaching young girls today?
I think the most important thing that we should be teaching young girls today is to not be afraid to take up space in society. And that is something that I really learned from other fellow beauty pageant queens as well. Because of course, we grow up and as a woman, we were taught to be so small in compared to our male counterpart. And that's why I think we should be confident in our abilities, because we are just as equal as the next person beside us, right? So I think to instill that confidence and that power, empowering women, is the most important thing that we should be teaching young girls today.
Are you working?
Working? No. Yeah. Yes.
What do you do for fun?
For fun, there's a lot of things I do for fun. I like to actually enjoy dancing. I actually enjoy the creative field. So I'm always down to try at least one thing one time, a new thing one time. So I was actually afraid of dance before because I was scared of looking stupid, of course, entering a new field. But I'm proud of myself for pursuing that, and now I completed a dance program, I completed a recital, I did my first big performance at Skydome. So dancing is something that I really enjoy outside of pageantry.
Next, start with your acting training.
Yes, actually the acting training will start at the end of July.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you!
Mapaka-conflict ba yan? If ever na makapasok ka sa top 20, magsa-start na yung acting training mo. So, paano mo i-weigh yung passion mo in both worlds? If ever that you enter top 20 in Miss Philippines.
Yeah, it's actually very difficult because, like I said, pageantry was my first love, and then acting is my newfound love. But I've been speaking with my director, and it's possible to maintain both the acting workshops and the pageant. But he is very supportive of my pageant journey, so I feel like if I have to sacrifice this one season in order to pursue this other dream of mine, then it would just be a slight delay and not a stop.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How many candidates are competing?
I believe there's 42.
40 na.
42.
That's also the number for the face-to-face pageant.
Sorry po.
That's also the number for the face-to-face pageant.
No, I believe after the preliminary, top 20 will be selected, and then they will fly or commute all of the top 20 to Metro Manila, where we will do face-to-face activities.
Yes. Why should you be the next Miss Philippines Earth title holder?
I believe that
Kailan na ba? Ay, gumaganti ha.
Oh my God.
Again.
Take two.
Natanong na ba, Tito Mel?
Di ba?
Okay, the last question. So, why should you be the next Miss Philippines Earth title holder?
I believe that I should be the next Philippines Earth title holder because not only do I want to see a change in this world, but I really want to create a change in this world. I want to be a part of it. So if Miss Philippines Earth gave me the opportunity, their platform, to start putting action behind my advocacy and behind these initiatives, that is something that I truly would be so self-fulfilled with and so happy with. So that is why I want to be the next Miss Philippines Earth.
Charis. Okay, last question. Can you tell us about your expectations of joining the Miss Philippines Earth 2022?
I went into this pageant very confident in myself, and I feel like that is a good head start that you should always have whenever you pursue a field of your passion. And my expectation is to just enjoy the journey. I know that is said a lot of times, but I truly feel so fulfilled being with like-minded individuals who are just equally as passionate as me. So I'm always learning something from the girls. I'm always experiencing something new, and I'm just enjoying my moment. Thank you.
Galing.
Pag-pink ko, magkakakulay sila.
Yes, I have previous Miss Philippines.
May angulo talaga siyang ma.
Yes, it's actually a funny story because my first experience of Miss Philippines Earth is in Canada. I was the reigning Miss Philippines Earth Air 2019. So I competed in this pageant before, and I would say that's truly where I found my passion for the environment. So that's why I wanted to pursue it again, except in the Philippines, which is my home country. So I want to make us proud. Oh, yes, I have. I have. I believe, but it was just in passing, so we didn't have actual conversations.
Since it's the thing of the series or do you have a personal and intimate connection or relationship with needy animals?
With needy animals. Yes, I do. I think it's super important to always be taking care of our animals, especially no matter where you are, whether it be in my home in Canada or whether it be here in the Philippines, because animal rights are just as important as human rights, right? So we shouldn't overlook them because they are not the same as us. They're still the same. So that's why it is so important to always take care of animals and to be their voice for the voiceless, really. So yeah, thank you.
Anong height niya?
5'6".
5'6".
And sabi ni Ferdy, message mo sa lahat from your family, friends, and also pageant.
And of course,
So first of all, I wanted to say thank you so much for attending and for supporting me. It truly means a lot, and it's so overwhelming being surrounded by all of these friendly faces. So thank you. And to my family back home who are always so supportive. I'm sure if you have my mom on Facebook, she will spam you with likes and comments. So unless you want that, don't add her.
where's your mom?
But yes, they're always so supportive. It feels like even though I'm on the whole other side of the world, they are still here with me today. So that is really my motivation, and they are really my strength. So thank you so much to everyone, and thank you all to you guys for coming here tonight.
Magandang bata.
Thank you.
Ferdy, thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Ferdy, for the gift bag. Super appreciated.
Last picture.